Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Crypto Corner with Bitcoin coming back above 30,000 today, which is great. Yesterday we went sub 30,000, 29,500, even lower than that for a moment. People got scared. Many people actually started panic selling yet again, which is something that I've always told you not to do. Anyway, today we're going to look at the news and we're going to look at the markets again. We're going to look at the chart of Bitcoin. We're going to try and see what could happen with Bitcoin for the rest of the week. So this is what's coming. Stay tuned, don't go anywhere. And first we start off with the news about an event that is happening today, which is what many people speculate was the reason for today's pump in the price of Bitcoin. Elon Musk, Jack Dorsey, and Adam Back, CEO of Blockstream, the co-developer team behind Bitcoin, are meeting to discuss the mother of all cryptocurrencies and possible future developments for Bitcoin. These are not people who control Bitcoin, but given their huge influence on public opinion, this is going to be an interesting meeting for everyone who is in the crypto space. So let's see what's going to happen. This is just a conversation, of course. Neither Elon nor Jack are in a position to dictate what should happen to Bitcoin. But Adam Back, on the other hand, he is someone who can drive proposals to implementation. We saw how the SegWit proposal got pushed in the end after years of sitting around and being ignored. In the start of 2017, many of the developers began a campaign to push for SegWit implementation, which was met with a lot of resistance, unfortunately, from the miners, and eventually it led to the Bitcoin Cash fork, which was really unfortunate. I mean, we lost Roger Ver as a Bitcoin proponent, and dare I say, this was a big loss. Roger is still one of the most well-spoken and convincing agents we've seen in crypto ever. So having him on our side used to be a huge advantage. This is no longer the case. And by the way, what happened to him? I haven't seen him tweeting in months. Very peculiar. I mean, he's probably working on something. Well, I don't really miss his shameless Bcash promotion, so let him rest. The event is called the B Word, and it is scheduled to be later today. I will drop the link in the description for you if you want to register for it. It starts at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. This is in the US, of course. The Daily Hodl is offering an insight into the GBTC, the Grayscale Trust Bitcoin shares, which I talked about a few episodes ago. We've seen some selling activity going on, and investment strategist Lynn Alden says that she's looking at this as a fundamental catalyst that potentially triggered the start of Bitcoin trend reversal this year. In an interview with Angelo Robles, CEO of Family Office Association, Alden explains how institutional investors took advantage of the trading opportunities presented by the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust, GBTC. She says, I quote, "The Grayscale Bitcoin Trust has for a while been one of the only publicly traded vehicles that you can access Bitcoin with, for investors that prefer to access a brokerage account, of course. Institutional investors could also use it. In addition to people buying Bitcoin through that trust, there is also a neutral arbitrage trade there. For most of its history, because it's a rather unique vehicle, it traded at a premium to net asset value. And so what people could do was buy it at a net asset value with these 6-month lockup periods. For some people, they just were happy to be long in that fund, whereas other people did it specifically to collect the premium. And so what they would do was they would get it at the net asset value, they would short an equal amount of Bitcoin, and so they would have a neutral position. And then after the 6-month lockup period, they can sell their GBTC shares, they can undo their Bitcoin short, and whatever the premium over this net asset value was, they get to collect that. So they can do this again and again and again. They can do it every 6 months. Alden highlights that while institutional investors could sell their GBTC shares, the Bitcoin involved cannot be sold back into the market. Bitcoin is not redeemable from that trust, so that this Bitcoin is permanently in the trust now. It converted liquid Bitcoin from exchanges into illiquid Bitcoin and cold storage. When that was repeated over and over again, it was kind of a Hotel California, she says, for Bitcoin. GBTC was the largest buyer of Bitcoin in the second half of 2020. And as a result of these activities, she says the biggest buyer is removed from the market. And so when we saw that happen back in January 2021, Bitcoin started to consolidate for a little while, make new highs, but the momentum was already weaker. And then we started to get the Elon concerns. It kind of impacted the market that was already kind of going sideways in consolidation. And so that kind of helped trigger the decline. But I think the more underlying thing was just a supply and demand balance for Bitcoin itself. Okay, moving on to other news. According to an article in CoinDesk, there is a report that still we see a low institutional interest in Bitcoin right now. The Purpose Exchange Traded Fund, one of the first approved Bitcoin exchange traded products, has seen a slowdown in the net inflows this week after experiencing a period of relatively strong demand in May and June. This is according to a report by Glassnode. The slowdown suggests institutional demand for Bitcoin remains weak across these regulated products. At the same time, research group Finder conducted a survey among 42 cryptocurrency experts, which shows that 61% think that Bitcoin is currently undervalued, while the experts on average expect Bitcoin to reach 66,000 or more per Bitcoin by the end of this year. EWN reports that Binance Smart Chain was leading the race in unique active wallets during the second quarter of this year, 421,000 on average. dApps on the Binance Smart Chain continued to grow, hitting 1,464 by the end of the second quarter. PancakeSwap is the top protocol on the Binance Smart Chain, driving 28% of the total value locked, and it's also the most used dApp across all blockchains. Gaming and NFTs are slowly gaining traction on the Binance Smart Chain. Also, it continues to assert its dominance in the blockchain and DeFi industries, becoming the most used network in the second quarter of this year. This is according to a report by DappRadar that also pointed out that the Binance Smart Chain had the highest number of unique active wallets in the second quarter at 421,854. This number of unique active users was 400% higher than the first quarter of this year. Moving on to Grayscale again, they had just launched a new DeFi fund. It consists of the top 10 DeFi projects by market cap, and Uniswap, the token Uni, has the biggest allocation, almost half of it. It is in fact 49.95%. This is quite a significant chunk. And Aave has the second biggest allocation, which is just a fifth of that, sitting at 10%, as we can see on the screen. Compound is next with 8.38%. Curve Finance 7.44%, MakerDAO is here, SushiSwap is also here, Syntaxis, one of my favorite tokens and projects, is also here, Yearn Finance, one that was really popular last year when it launched last summer. UMA Protocol and Bancor Network BNT is also sitting at just 2% allocation. In their official announcement, they say Grayscale continues to focus on creating opportunities for investors to access new, exciting parts of the digital asset ecosystem. The emergence of decentralized finance protocols provide clear examples of technologies that can redefine the future of the financial services industry. We're proud to offer investors exposure to DeFi through Grayscale's trusted, secure, and industry-leading investment product structures. If we were in a more stable market conditions, I think, we would have seen these assets jump by at least 20 or 30% upon this announcement. Given that the bears are still in control of the market right now, no such pumps took place. The market is up today, but the gains are across the whole market, not just these tokens. So we cannot speculate that this had anything to do with the price recovery. Many people think that yesterday's drop below 30k in Bitcoin confirmed a bottom and the bullish price action today is strong, but I feel that another drop can easily happen in the coming day or two. Is this a bull trap? Well, let's take a look at the charts. Well, first of all, a quick roundup here. We see that Bitcoin is up 6% and it's driving the whole market up with it. However, the altcoins are recovering more than what Bitcoin is doing. It is worth mentioning that they dropped much more than Bitcoin over the last couple of days. So Ethereum is now up 8%. It is still below 2000, however. BNB is also up 8%. It is 287 right now. Cardano is doing a much bigger recovery, 11.65% up since yesterday. It is at 1.16. Yet again, this is one of the price levels that it's often revisiting. XRP is at 55 cents, pretty much what it used to be 3 days ago. It is 6.35% up in the last 24 hours. Dogecoin slightly more, 14.27%. This is probably to do with the fact that Elon Musk is going to be talking today, and we know that he is a big Dogecoin proponent, so Dogecoin holders are probably buying now in anticipation of him. I don't know what they're anticipating, actually. I personally don't really follow Dogecoin that much. Polkadot is up 13%, $12.25 right now as we speak. Uni is only $7.96 up since yesterday. And Bitcoin Cash is also 7.25% up since yesterday, so not much. Litecoin, 6.66, devil's number, up since yesterday, and it is at $114 as we speak, which is still very weak for Litecoin. We need it to go to at least 120, 130, and try to reclaim the 150, which is a strong resistance for it. I think it's going to meet a lot of selling as it gets to these levels. Now let's go into the chart of Bitcoin so that we can have a quick look at what's currently happening. What we are seeing is I drew this red line here, which is our support line, and perfectly we bounced up from this red line. This was our lower support, and I was expecting that we will be going there. This is in my previous analysis. I was talking about the fact that we are seeing a lot of selling action, and that most likely we will be going to revisit this support level, and that it's very important that we hold this support level, because if we break this support level, then we don't really have a strong support from that all the way down until 25 or 27k. Now unfortunately I don't really see it here, so I didn't draw that line. It was a Fibonacci level, and I was drawing Fibonacci's, which I deleted after that, so I'm not gonna go through that again. Right now what we are looking at is actually what could happen on the way up, because we are recovering. We are doing this kind of a V-shaped recovery. We're gonna see if this is going to hold us. We do have a strong resistance at the 32,000 level, so we're gonna see if we'll be able to actually reach that and challenge this. Currently we are not far from it, but at the same time we are not really having enough buying volume to actually push us all the way up there so soon. As we can see, on the way down, the volume was way much higher than what we are seeing right now on the way up, meaning that the overall sentiment is still bearish. People are scared, even though they're buying right now. This is mostly speculators and maybe some longer term investors that tried to scoop it before it went up. Maybe they think that we are now already starting the strong bull run, and they kind of rushed into getting it. Also, we did see some decent accumulation around these price levels. As Bitcoin went below 30k, it became very appealing for the longer term investors. This is why we see a lot of buyers stepping in here and did not allow it to drop any lower. Now on the way up, currently right now we are at a resistance level, which is proving to be this orange line here. This is the 50 moving average. This is on the 4 hour. Let me go on the 1 hour so that we can look really in the short term what's happening. In the 1 hour we are actually at the 200 hourly moving average right now, so this is still a resistance point for us. If we fail to break this, we are definitely going to be going lower and retesting support levels. Currently we have these moving averages that are kind of crossing here, and this is around 30,000, so this is our support price level. If we are getting rejected from this price here, we are definitely going to go down to the 30k again, and it's very important over the next few days whether we'll be able to stay above the 30k or whether we will fall below again. If we manage to stay above the 30k level, we are definitely going to establish this as a strong support, and we could talk about being bottomed here at this sub 30k price levels. However, if the 30,000 level does not hold us, then we are definitely going to see more decline in the price, further downward price action that will take us to the 27,000 and 25,000 support levels, and we can even revisit the theory of Bitcoin dropping to 15,000. Yet again, we could talk about this, but we will be talking about this in a few days time, because first we have to see how is the price action going to develop over the next few days. We're going to see if the 30k is going to hold us or is it going to be broken, because now that we challenged it a few times and it was holding us a few times, 29k actually proved to be the bottom for the moment. But this bottom, the more we challenge it, the more opportunity we have to actually break below it. And next time we challenge it is going to be crucial for us, because if we break below the 29,000, then definitely we're going to see Bitcoin diving lower to the lower 20,000 levels. And once we are there, it is not going to be surprising if we break even the 20,000 support level. I personally don't think that we're going to see Bitcoin drop below 20k. I feel that there's too many buyers that will be hungry for Bitcoin at these price levels. We even see a lot of buyers hungry for Bitcoin at 29,000. But the problem is that as Bitcoin starts consolidating for longer periods around these prices, it gets weaker, and we don't really see much volume coming in, which is also not good for Bitcoin. Therefore, we could actually see Bitcoin continue the decline and continue to go below 30,000, which will actually establish a long-term bear trend. And it will establish this as not just a correction, but as a bear cycle. And a bear cycle could last for months, even 2 years. I mean, I don't really expect it to last for years, but it's already been 3 months that we are going downwards. So it could continue for another 3 to 6 months, meaning that until the end of the year, we may not see Bitcoin go to previous all-time highs or making a new all-time high. I personally still see a potential for it to go to a new all-time high by the end of this year, but the longer we stay at these price levels, or if we break below 30k, I will probably change my mind, and I will be analyzing the charts again, and I will be talking about the possibility of Bitcoin going through a full bear cycle. That doesn't have to be a repeat of 2018 and 2019. I think the fundamentals are stronger, and we see more adoption, and we see more interest from institutional investors. Even though it's weaker than it was a few months ago, it's still much stronger than it was 2 years ago. So I personally don't think we're going to see a bear cycle that will be lasting 1.5 years or 2 years or anything like that. But another 3 or 6 months, it is possible. We're going to revise this. Now, one last piece of news before I leave you, and this is going to be quite a silly one actually. Grooming products firm Axe is releasing a limited edition crypto-scented Doge body spray. I mean, this is what it is. I feel that this is kind of ridiculous. Maybe, I mean, I can speculate that the marketing team behind Axe maybe are invested in Dogecoin, or maybe they're just wanting to be trendy and they want to get all of these TikTokers, influencers that were pushing the price of Dogecoin. They probably want to get them to promote this product. So for me, this is just a marketing trick. I mean, on one hand, it's funny to see a crypto kind of infiltrate mainstream products like this. On the other hand, it is kind of a silly attempt at being trendy and cool. I mean, who am I to judge? This is not really my product. Maybe if I had a product, I would also be branding it around something crypto, especially given that I am such a crypto proponent. So good on you, Axe. At the end of the day, anything that helps promote crypto adoption is good, even if it's Dogecoin, that I don't really like that much. Well, this concludes today's episode of Crypto Corner, everyone. Thanks for staying until the end of the video. I hope this brought value to you, and if it did, please share it with someone else who would benefit from the information that I shared here. Also, show your support by leaving a like and a comment below. Leaving comments will also qualify you for my summer giveaway. You can win prizes in Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, and a brand new Ledger Nano S. This is the most popular hardware wallet device on the market. If you're new to crypto, consider getting a copy of my books, Learn Crypto, the Ultimate Beginner's Guide to Investing in Cryptocurrencies, and Crypto Jargon, a complete dictionary of all the crypto terminology that you see in articles, videos, and on social media as well. These two ebooks have already helped thousands of people turn from crypto newbies to experienced investors who know how the markets operate and how to avoid the mistakes that every new investor makes. Links, of course, are in the description below. Make sure that you catch my next episode. If you haven't done that yet, hit the notification bell so you know when I post a new video. And if you want to see more Crypto Corner episodes, just pick one of these.